All right, folks, we're back. It goes without saying we apologize for what happened there, but Nifty's clutch was so damn powerful that he broke our power breaker at the studio with just the sheer epicness of what happened. You can see the effects of that play. The ace clutch just fired Renegades off to a 12-3 lead. As we sit at halftime, they are massively out in front, and so we should be able to see them hopefully finish this thing off and get us onto a third map to give this series what it truly deserves, which is a third map against two teams who are just absolutely brawling it out. It was TyLoo just sick nasty on Mirage after they got their act together, and Renegades on Cash. Their response has been massive. They have been just straight up wrecking TyLoo on the first half from their T side. That's a monstrous 12 rounds from the offense. And now we just have to see if TyLoo can respond.
Yeah, they're going to have to come back quite handily. Now, TyLoo have proven that they have this value in them, this kind of a feature that not a lot of teams have, this comeback. This is a bit too hard to achieve, though. 3 rounds only for them, and now they're on the T side. So even if they win the pistol round, I'm not too sure if they'll be able to get too much out of it. But still, yeah. Apologies for the bit of a short outage that we had here. It was so wreckful what Nifty did there.
Dude.
I kept on, like,
I almost had a full-on
we knew the power went down. We kept on casting. It was that good.
I almost had a full-on intimate experience from watching that play unfold, and I didn't get to...
Oh, we were climax.
We didn't get to finish.
We were close to climax in different ways.
I'm absolutely going to get fired now. Boys, it was great casting this event for you, but I just got myself fired with that comment. What can you do? Tensions are high. The frustrations are high, obviously. We were having so much fun following that along, and we know you guys are just as frustrated again.
And we kept casting while the stream was down.
We were still casting.
Good.
It was. And again, guys, sometimes your power goes out. What can you do? I mean, it's just one of those unfortunate external factors that you can't control for.
That's it.
And that's it. Let's just get back into it. Let's put it behind us.
In all fairness, though, this must be said. PGL's production has been absolutely crisp from the first day we started. So, you know, it's a bit of a certain issue that you cannot control. But anyway, let's get back to the hard things. Let's have a look at this game. It's going to be on to map 3, so there's plenty more great CSGO to come. Not a problem whatsoever. Renegades now on their CT side with a very, very safe 12 rounds. TyLoo is going to have to take on to a miracle to come back into this game. Let's see if they're going to be able to achieve this. This time pushing on towards the A side. Nifty's going to be close there. Holding on to his angle. They're hoping that he can catch any T's pushing past that smoke. But no. Bomb has been planted, and it's in an open position. With that, TyLoo can cover back into A main and try their best at keeping their angles there. Nifty, though, comes in with his teammates, but KT headshots come in. Duel from him. AZR also with good shots, though JKS finds a good frag as well. Azer as well. JKS returning fire indeed, as somebody's going to be the last one staying alive in a 1v1 duel with JKS. This is a tight one. Somebody needs to win this one for his team. Swaps to burst fire mode. Cannot connect his shots, and neither does JKS. What a duel. No. What's going on? Oh, man. Somebody finally comes out on top. And TyLoo do win the pistol round, but then again, what can you give him with 4 rounds?
It's the first step in a long road they must travel to get back in this game. Again, Renegades dominant in the first half from their T side, but winning pistol that at least gets you in the right direction. It allows you to go ahead and get bought up. Hopefully you don't get ecoed or lose to a force spy. You can get your 3-0 start. You can get up to 6 rounds, and then you just start grinding from there. That's really what TyLoo have to hope that they can do here. Meanwhile, if you're Renegades, you don't sweat you lost that round. You know, you just got to focus up. You know you have a big lead. You got a little bit of breathing room to work with, so just keep the stability going. I think that the momentum they got from that clutch from Nifty had to put them at such. Make sure you don't get ahead of things. You still have to close this game.
Indeed, there's going to be some action there coming in from Renegades over on mid, but DD has got to be quite handy on it. Now switches his sights towards the A side, where there's currently no, well, there is one CT defending it and one more onto A main. So this is a bit of a split from Renegades, and they don't have the firepower to withstand any push from TyLoo, but so they choose to play a bit split up. They need to say what place would TyLoo choose to push from.
Yeah, I mean, TyLoo love mid-control. We learned that yesterday, and just from watching them play Cash in general, you'll see them waste a lot of utility to get mid-control, make sure they grab it, and then they can do a lot from it. This time they're looking to do a B split against the pistols of Renegades. TD
will be finding a frag there as his teammate does fall down. So far, it's a fair trade. 3v3 action there, and now the CTs, well, all of them that remain do have armor. but they still do not have any kind of weaponry to utilize against DD's AK. And there goes one down. One more to fall soon as Captain Mo swings his AK towards JKS, and there you go, Azur. Last one falling there, DD with crisp clean shots. 12-5 now. TyLoo will get a decent chance at this round as well. But after this, well, God's will.
Yeah, again, TyLoo has a good cache. They have a good T side. They certainly are capable of getting back into this as long as they get their minds right. Sometimes it can be hard when you see the amount that you have to leap to get back into it. But you just got to take it one round at a time. Right now, they're reaping the benefits of winning the first 2 rounds. They're up against full USPs from Renegades, who will stack the A bomb site. It'll be mid-control from TyLoo, so outside of maybe getting flanked, they should be able to bypass this stack pretty easily and just get into a B-split, especially if somebody picks up on this by holding the A main position.
Yeah, he's not going to be losing too much. He's the only player that doesn't have a rifle on his E side there. Just has a Tech 9 to work with here. His teammate dinked way down, so somebody needs to step in, and that he does indeed. Nice shots from him, and that's going to be the end of the round there. TyLoo, somebody. Very beautiful stuff out of him.
Yeah, that's good stuff from TyLoo. Match paused here. Full buy coming out from Renegades, obviously, as they did save up the last round. As I guess the other option to bypassing it is just taking it head on and getting all the frags. I mean, I guess that works as well. Get a little bit of extra money, I guess. You know, a few $100 a kill here with the Tech 9 from somebody. But now that we have full guns out in play, again, Nifty has the AWP. He is so mobile on this map. He will be all over the place. He'll keep TyLoo guessing where they have to worry about the sniper. But again, I think TyLoo will just stick to their roots of really looking to exercise mid-control a lot and just, you know, set up guys like HZ and Bentet to make plays up highway or middle or just, you know, kind of stretch the map. And that's probably what you're going to see a lot throughout this game. And we'll just have to see how it works out. TyLoo, they have to go in full grind mode.
Yep, indeed. They got a long ways to go. They're going to be trying their best at it, though. Let's see what they're going to be opting to play onto this one here. It does look like on the CT side, though, Nifty chooses a bit of a more passive activity towards mid-highway. There's not a lot of action happening so far on A site, so Nifty does rotate. That's a good rotate indeed, because already this control has been given to TyLoo. It's being granted by Renegades, and with that, HZ does find the opener of this round. Azur is down. HZ only ate a bit of damage there. He's still alive, though. No utility left. Well, there's 2 mollies on TyLoo's side, and that might end up biting them.
Yeah, so they have the main advantage. Luckily, you still at least has A main control, so they have something to work with. At least they haven't just like given up mid control for free and not taking anything back. So that gives them at least maybe some positioning there to work with. But TyLoo, you know, they have a player push deep in the CT connector. They have a guy up highway that's going to be Mo. They still maintain mid control. They have a couple of guys, you know, playing towards B, so they have a lot of options open to them. Again, this is their bread and butter. Let's get mid. Let's leave all our options open. Let's work it out. In fact, it helps them, of course, that they have a guy ahead, as we do see them starting to work towards B.
Okay, so it's going to be the tip of the spear here, trying to find his shots there. Brief fires come in, but nobody to connect with. Both of the CTs are now onto the B side there, curled up on a more defensive position, and Nifty though comes at it again. There's plenty more op shots where that one came from. JKS peeks out, finds a good frag. And now the T's don't seem so sure that they want to go towards the B side there. As the CTs do rotate over there, it's going to be Captain Mo that actually finds a handy frag. But the A side has been given up. And
oh, so well played.
Yes, indeed. TyLoo chose the actually perfect option for them.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great... I mean, there's still a man behind. There's a kit on Nexus, so they have time to work this out. They don't have utility, though, so they have to just run up straight aim battles. But Bentet holding a good angle on A main. They're all rotating together as well. They're all 3 going to come A main. Bentet, he could put a huge stop to this, or he could just get traded out quick.
First shot comes in, first frag indeed, but JKS returns fire, and there's going to be Captain Mo that needs to defend this one. Now the bomb is taken away fast, but JKS does have a defuse kit to work with her, and he's Ustillo. Also with a molly in his hands, marking off the perfect angle there, and the good frag. It will be enough time to defuse the bomb there, and Renegades take this one right back into their doorstep. Good round to win back right now, and TyLoo's economy will still grant them a purchase, but they're going to invest so heavy that if they lose this one, they're not going to look so great on the next
shape, yeah. They're probably in force buy to survive mode if they lose this round, to be honest, just given the fact they don't want to give Renegades free map point, probably. Renegades, despite winning, have to do a lot of rebuying, so they could get reset. That could help TyLoo out if they can get this one going, so that's in the background. Just to recap that round real quick, Renegades played that to perfection. You know, the way they played that 3-on-2 was on point, making sure they gathered up and traded together, didn't give TyLoo a chance to get, you know, one-on-one duels or anything like that. So definitely great to see them just still remaining sharp. Even on Mirage where they lost, they still were sharp. It's just they were losing duels. Now they're sharp and winning them. That's a great combination, obviously, as we are going to see TyLoo slow things down a bit this time. They're not going for the fast mid control. I can still expect them to go for it later in the round, though. They will do pacing changes. You see the Vents Molotov going out there. It actually misses.
Yep.
So they won't force anyone out of Vents with that, but they can still use the rest of the utility to make sure they capture mid and then go from there. But Renegades did push A main again, and so you got to worry about that.
Yes, indeed. A lot of immersion capture right now by Renegades. They know that this is not a standard A-sided execute, at least. So once again, they will allow access for TyLoo into mid. Nifty's going to be playing this time close angle, but with an M4, he does not have an op to work with here. And that is quite important.
They're going to smoke wall truck and hit A up highway, I think. This is one of the tactics they do have in their playbook. There it is, actually, isn't it? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Attack coming in here. HZ does find a handy frag there, but Nifty's close by. One spray down, two go down. Nifty doing good job now. 20 HP spraying down through the door. He's not going to be connecting with the 1T that is in there, and DD will bring him down, though. Use TyLoo. Good positioning from him in a 1v3 situation. DD tries his best at it, but Nexus got the angle on him. Takes him down 14 points now for Renegade. And TyLoo, indeed, they will have to force buy into this one.
Yeah, the smoke wall truck play can be quite good. I mean, you cut off anybody rotating from CT and you isolate the site. The problem is there was a guy from Renegades actually playing the edge of the smoke, really shut that thing down. And so now it's Renegades continuing to roll out the big lead. They're up by quite a lot. And TyLoo now, like I said, in force buy to survive situation, they have to just keep buying, and that means they're never going to have the ideal setup, but they have no choice. They don't want to give Renegades a free series point to take a save, and so that means that TyLoo will just have to do more with less as they set up what looks to be a set execute on the A-bomb side. Lots of utility pouring over from outside A main.
Fast-paced action starting now. The exit is coming in from TyLoo, and they're trying their best at it just to stay alive at this point in time. HZ, though, eats a bit of a damage there. So does Bent, and ooh, you still good connection onto Captain Mo. But it's going to be Azert that actually gets the frag onto that one. 4v5 situation with the bomb planted now. It will have to be a fast retake by Renegades. They want to take this round home fast. JK has good frag from him. One player from the D side, though, onto the heaven position. That might be a good surprise, though. Bentet eats up a lot of damage, and so does HZ. Somebody, the only one that could stay alive in this potential duel here. He's been spotted, taken down by Nifty. Good retake. Fantastic by-the-book action by Renegades. And it looks like we are very close to heading into a third map here.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? I mean, Renegades have done so well here. Nifty obviously had the big ace clutch. He's top fragging at 20. You got TyLoo, JKS, they're both at 17. So, you know, getting good production out of most of Renegades. Meanwhile, TyLoo have never really got things rolling in this game, period. I mean, they got waxed first half. This half, I mean, they did well to win the first 3 rounds to hang around, but they just haven't been able to really follow it up. And this is probably the last round we're going to see in this, I'd have to imagine, the way that Renegades are playing. And so Overpass will be coming up next, I think, as a third map. And it's going to be real murky waters on that map because neither team put a lot into Overpass. So it's going to be kind of a mystery as to how that plays out. But you got to like the fact that Renegades have looked the better team.
Well, Renegades had a bit of lamprey time on that one, I suppose.
Yeah.
And their previous duels so far. But still, you cannot count TyLoo out of it as well. Both of the teams would have some surprise element, I suppose, to it. Because, well, neither of them knows how the other one would play it. Oh, look at this positioning from Captain Mo. Surprising Nexa had no idea that he was there.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, he almost opens up the B side there, but JKS is going to be there to trade. Bit of a push coming in from A main, and now Renegades know that, well, almost the entirety of the T side will be heading towards the B side, and that they do indeed. Nifty's going to be caught off by Amadi, but goes in deep. Not this time connecting his shot, so DD takes him down. And now with the bomb plant here, it's a very decent chance for TyLoo to win the round.
They're going to hang around for at least a bit longer, and they will be able to roll over a lot of guns, it looks like. They could just save 4 AKs here, or 3 AKs and 1 M4, rather, and all that armor. So that'd be great news for them. And they're going to, you know, make sure Renegades don't carry over much. And, I mean, it would be legendary if TyLoo grind this thing back into an overtime because it's just been Renegades all day long on this map. If they really find a way to grind that hard, then, you know, power to them, man. That would be so sick to watch. But you got to like Renegades' chances of forcing a third map here. It might take them a little bit of time to do it, but as long as they keep their minds right, maybe they take a tactical timeout at some point to settle down, they should be able to punch this one through. But we'll see. TyLoo, they're a ferocious team to deal with.
They are indeed, but they've got quite a mountain to climb here. 8 rounds up until the point of overtime. So still, Renegades have a lot of leeway here. A lot of play moments that they can, toy with here. Of course, there's not going to be a purchase here, although it must be said that Azur's money is far from being perfect, but still he's going to be able to save this one. And perhaps go for the UMP and still have some money for utility. There's no need for, well, there would be need actually for full armor. Somebody does have an M4 in his arsenal, so that might be an unpleasant surprise, I suppose, coming in the next round. But this round should be an easy cleanup for Renegades as they make their way once again into mid. And I'm not too sure if Renegades want to adjust their gameplay and stop TyLoo from taking mid on to the next round. It will be a purchase round. Do you think that would be a good adjustment, Dustin?
Roll that by me one more time?
Yeah, just like completely stopping TyLoo from getting mid action. Would that be a good adjustment from Renegades?
It's not necessarily bad if you give up middle as long as you control something else, like when Renegades controlled A main, for example, and just making sure you're aware that they could sneak CT spawn or come up highway. That's all. You just have to account for that in your positioning and how you play out the round. You certainly could make that adjustment if you wanted to, just try to full stop them. There's definitely a couple of different utility sets you can use to do that. You could incendiary the boost spot, put a smoke on mid garage main, and use a couple of flashes over boost as well. And that'll probably do you well to, push a player up closet, push a player up to vents, and control middle yourself as a CT team. Or just have an AWP player who can really just, lock that down could also work. Yeah, controlling mid on cash is very hard for CTs.
And very lucrative as well.
Unless you commit a lot of resources and personnel to controlling mid as CT, it's very hard to do. There's very few riflers who can solo hold middle. Like Apex comes to mind from G2, who can be very proficient there. But otherwise, it's difficult stuff.
I feel like Cabal would have a good time there as well. His spray control is absolutely out of this world. We've seen him yesterday. He's just very, very nutty in his aim. I don't know, man. Some really, really well-talented players in this Asian minor here that we've seen so far. And you cannot help but wonder how much further they would go with, with proper coaching, with a proper kind of scheduling and, with good strats.
Yeah, they definitely have the firepower, and they are going to go ahead and get mid control again. Now, Ustilo has the boosted spot. They don't know he's there, but Highway is a hard counter to the boosted position, I think. You get a good peek on that boosted player from Highway. Nexa, though, delivers the first blow. It could be the first blow of the last round if this keeps up, as now they are gathering A main. And again, they don't know about this boosted player, I don't think. No one was in Squeaky Hall to hear him get up there, so he could be a huge problem.
There we go, and Ustilo's going to be the first problem for them indeed. And Nexa then frags for his team as well. Just 2 players remaining now from TyLoo. And they are fragging, though. Benta does get a handy one. But it's still a 2v4, so not too easy for him. So they're going to be committing to the A side there, but Ustilo catches Benta off guard there with an aid in his hands and pants down. That's what Stay Alive is going to be somebody trying his best. That is great spray control out of him. Unexpected 1v2 situation now. He's got a chance into the game. Makes his way slightly out of a sight. He's got 35 seconds to work with here, so he knows he could pull this one off. But he does not know there's a player in the A main just at his tail, and that player is going to be the demise of him, and it's going to be GG for the second map. Renegades keep it alive, and we will be going to Overpass.
Indeed, we will. This series will get a third map. It's great to see it because I felt Mirage was a great game. Yeah, TyLoo was dominant, and they did wind up winning it, but Renegades had that hot start, and they looked sharp mentally. They just weren't getting the kills. On Cash, they straight up dominated. They finally put their sharpness aligned with just, better aiming and being able to just dominate. It all starts with that big clutch from Nifty in the first half, the ace with the AWP, and I feel like that just gave them so much momentum. Their spirits were so high. They were really confident, and they closed out the game with very little trouble, and they forced the third map. That's great. I thought this would be perhaps a 2-0 for TyLoo. Renegades proves me wrong. They forced the third map. And again, now we're going to Overpass, which to me is kind of a mystery because neither team really plays it that much. I don't really know what to expect, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, that's for sure, as we will send it over to the analysts to get their take on things before we continue on. So take it away, Paul.
Thanks very much, Dus. Yes, very interesting matchup now, isn't it? Looks very different after the first game, which TyLoo dominated. Likewise for Renegades in game number 2 on Cash, including a 1v5, which basically broke the server and everything around the entire show. Nevertheless, apologies for that one. Back with our panel members once more. Natu, much better performance from Renegades. Slightly iffy performance from TyLoo, admittedly, but you've got to win the rounds when you get the opportunity, and Renegades did that.
I mean, when you start off winning both piston rounds for TyLoo and you get 8 rounds total, obviously it's not been a great game for you.
Yep.
But credit to Renegades when credit is due. I thought they had a great T side. I felt like they made TyLoo a little bit confused, because a lot of the times they'd have like a 2-man unit go to one bomb site, and then they'll have another hit unit ready for the other bomb site. For example, they'd get up lane towards the A bomb site, they'd get a kill there, which would then cause a rotation from the B bomb site towards mid or A, and then they'd have 2 guys going towards checkers into towards B, they'd get a kill there, and they'd always have the man advantage as well. And then when you add up the spices, you'll have that bit of a cheeky 1-on-5 clutch there by Nifty. You know, those kind of things are going to be the last nails in the coffin.
Yeah, absolutely. Blair, you made a great point earlier on that they've studied TyLoo. It was obvious in the first game that they have studied it. Never more so than when they play Cash. And as Natu pointed out, they almost knew that they were going to rotate when they got an instant kill in one of the bomb sites. So they had that advantage straight away. And they put 12 rounds on the board on the T side.
That's pretty impressive. And again, like that round from Nifty, it was 3-3 if I'm not mistaken initially.
Not at that point. It was 6-3 at that point. And he won the 1-5. But you're right. It was 3-3 initially, and it went 12-3 in the half.
And also TyLoo, the money management seemed a little panicky, I'd say, a little forcey.
Yep.
And again, Renegades, more than like anti-stratting them, I think they were studying the tendencies of the players, of like tendency of TyLoo. They over-rotate a little bit. They look completely lost on the CD side, to be honest. And whatever rounds they won, even on the T side, came down to some little bit of individual brilliance. And it never felt like Renegades were ever not in control of that particular game. They came in, they had the map pick right. To be honest, like, although we said Renegades would take the map, I thought it would be a much more closer affair, to be honest. But TyLoo just needed a few more runs on the CD side if they wanted to take it even close to, 16-13, 16-12, something like that.
I mean, 12-3 and a half is done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also then on the City side, they had the patience. The only thing I didn't like about Renegades in the second half was them force buying into the second round, upgrading pistols, going into armors.
Yeah.
Never liked that idea when you're up as much as they were, because I'd like them to put all those eggs into that first weapon run instead. Make sure you have all the utilities, all the weaponry kits, what have you, to make sure that you'll have the easiest time possible on fending off your opposition. But other than that, they did a great job in retake situations as well. Really thinking it through what they were doing. 3-on-2 retake towards the 8 bombs that they'll all come through A main. I mean, that I thought that was smart, just to make sure that they're going to be refragging. No one's going to get caught off guard. It's not going to be equal numbers at any point in time, as long as they're roll packing, going as a unit and making sure they're refrag. So just overall, I thought, individually speaking, but also from a team perspective, tactically, and then also just having the wit, being smart in a lot of the situations, thinking them through, not being hasty, as we see a lot of the times people are a little bit, especially in the retakes. If you recollect yourself, you make sure that you're making the smart moves in those situations, you'll come out on top. And Renegades were definitely way better on cash.
Yeah, the Mummy MVP for that one, unsurprisingly, is the man that pulled off the 1v5 ace clutch.
I wonder how's that possible?
Which is nifty. Yeah, no surprise that he pulled that one off. Surprised that he pulled the 1v5 off, but no surprise that he pulls off the MVP award, that's for sure.
And it's not only that 105. Overall,
I think it was
a
very
massive
good,
impact. He kept getting great kills. We see 7 trade kills. That's a solid job there. And just overall, I thought he was being a crucial part of his team.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very much stepped up. One of the downsides to Renegade's performance is the poor pistols that they seem to be having. They had a great pistol in the first game, but day one in the group stages they were struggling in pistols, and they've done the same thing in this particular match. The only reason they've picked up 8 rounds against them is because they won 2 pistols.
Absolutely.
They've got to cut that out if they want to win the third game, surely.
Third game, it's going to be an overpass, though. Yeah. So, honestly, like Nadu said, I don't think any of us really have any clue how these teams play, because I think TyLoo have played 3 maps since they picked up Bentet on overpass, and Renegades have only played 2 maps with this particular lineup, and both of them have pretty much sucked on it. So I have no idea how overpass is honestly going to play out. I think it's going to just come down to which teams going to be ready for it. But looking at the way Renegades have played both these maps today, sure, Mirage was obviously going to be heavily TyLoo-sided, but Renegades seem prepared, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have a couple of tricks up the sleeve to counter TyLoo and overpass.
They started okay, didn't they, Nato, on Mirage? They were 7-1 up, seemed like they were willing to go toe-to-toe with TyLoo. And they've won the second one relatively comfortably. If you remove the 2 pistols, it would have been super comfortable. So do they head into overpass as favourites, regardless of previous form?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's siding them at this point is just overall, I think they've been smarter of the 2 teams. and they seem to have a lot more into their playbook in terms of how they can play. And Overpass is a map where you need to have a lot of tactical variety to be able to be successful. And there's a lot of things you can do. If you understand the fundamentals of the map, there's a lot of map to be gained both sides. You can choke off the T's by playing aggressive and gradually falling back. You can be able to take a lot of map control from the CTs as a T side to make hard for them to predict what's going to be happening. Rotation times are super fast through connector. There's a lot of things you could do, but it's up to your team to have those tools. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to see that Overpass game here in the tournament that they had earlier because of the issues there were on the server.
Yeah.
So, you know, we couldn't really judge. They won at 16-11, Renegades did, but, you know, how did it go?
Yeah, I mean, the first 4 or 5 rounds we watched, it was pretty tight, wasn't
Exactly.
it?
It was
So,
kind of iffy, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So, you know, it's hard to judge really what's to come. But if you just look at from a raw perspective of thinking how these teams overall have performed over these 2 maps, I mean, it does look really good for Renegades. But, you know, I'm not going to start changing my prediction, though. I mean, I'm going to stick with my guns.
no flip-flopping here for the Flying Fin. I like
Gotta
it.
be a man.
There was alliteration there as well.
I'm gonna stick with Renegades.
Okay.
They, at least on. Here's the thing, right? Like we knew Renegades would probably win Cash. We knew TyLoo would probably win Mirage, and Overpass was like up in the air. But just looking at the form, even though they lost Mirage, they showed something on it.
Yeah.
Cash was just a complete blowout. They just destroyed TyLoo, and I think they, like Nadu mentioned, they're playing much more smarter brand of Counter-Strike, and Overpass is a map where you need, you know, to have those mid-round aggressions, you know, counter-aggressing on the CT side. You know, you're able to fake things out, and TyLoo, they have this, Asian teams in general, apart from Flash, from what I've seen of them, they have this tendency to over-rotate so many times unnecessarily, just falling for simple fakes. And Renegades, they have the experience. They've played against some of the best teams in the world. They have more experience than TyLoo easily. So I think they have the upper hand going to Overpass.
Okay. I mean, some might say that you don't need stones so much as brains
Yeah, there we go.
on Overpass.
There you go, Dust. I'm just going to wait for the map to play out for us, yeah.
I'm intrigued to see how this pans out, this whole brains or stones thing. It's
Well, he is American, so yeah.
Right. Wow. Wow.
On that bombshell.
We'll move swiftly on and head to our social media questions right now and see if we can get any more spicy stuff going out of them. Our next question is, will the official CSGO release in China impact the player pool? You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely will. I mean,
it will.
Having official servers there and just the game being promoted and everything. I mean, obviously it's going to. And like I said, 1.5 billion people in that small little country of China.
But Natsu, how can there be 1.5 billion people in China when there are only 1.5 million people on Twitch? There's an old Twitch meme. I've got to stop you there because we're ready for the game to start. So let's head back to our commentary team for game number 3. Enjoy.